All right, hello and welcome to the first episode of the Game Fanatics podcast. I didn't even mess up saying the title. My name is Ben, and I'm joined by Henry.
Way to start the first podcast with, I'm so glad I didn't screw this
I
up.
was really close. I was really close. Shut up. And Jeff is here.
Hello, they say the more things change, the more they stay the same.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah, so today we're talking about the Steambox announcements at CES.
Yep.
And there's a lot of Steamboxes.
Yeah, there's a ton of them.
Let's cover a little bit. There's like ones from Alienware to like these things I've never heard of.
Yeah, there's 13 of them, right?
Yeah, 13 different manufacturers. A lot of them don't have prices announced, but basically the range is $500, which is honestly probably not a very good PC.
Yeah.
And then to several thousand, which is an overkill PC, as I will call it.
Yeah, the top one that I saw was like $6,000.
Wow.
Yeah, which quite honestly, I don't even know if I could build a computer for that price if I tried. Like, I don't know what.
Yeah, if you're gonna have that kind of money, just go build your own.
Just go buy a one-off Newegg, like a built PC. Like, what are you doing buying a Steam box for $6,000? Just buy a PC. That's what you're buying anyway. I don't get it. I don't get it. That's confusing.
Yeah,
And
well,
no
that's
store.
more on the marketability. We'll get into that later.
Yeah, no store is gonna have that. The problem with a lot of these announcements is they're not really talking about specs. So I
Right.
can't reliably tell you, oh, hey, this is, like, oh, this is X amount, or this is Y, like, okay,
Or
this,
in comparison, this is likened to blah blah blah.
Yeah. Okay, so this $500 Steam machine from iBuyPower, I'm looking at the specs. 500 gig hard drive, 4 gigs of RAM, which is, it's not bad. 4 gigs of RAM isn't that bad, but it's not a good place to start. It's got a mobile CPU. It's got this graphics card that I'm not sure about because Nvidia or ATI changed their naming scheme, and I don't know what this means anymore. So thanks a lot. But it's not that bad of a PC.
Right. Yeah, they're those ones are like decent, but for the price, that's where things get iffy.
Problem is like the reason why the PS4 and the Xbox One can be those prices is because they're making a bajillion of them. You know, they're not making millions of this iBuyPower thing. Like they're making a couple 100,000 of it.
Yeah.
And this PC is probably pretty good. Like this PC right here is probably fairly comparable. I don't know what these specs, probably fairly comparable to a PS4 or an Xbox One. I mean, and then you can do PC stuff.
Yeah. With what you just said about instead of selling like millions, blah blah blah, you'd think that they would have made a more proper partner then, because if you're thinking about, they have 13 different partners, and that means they're selling each as like under the umbrella of Steambox. They're selling them less per partner, right? Because there's 13 of them.
Because they're splitting the market into 13 slices.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that just makes even more not sense.
And I'm looking at this list. 3, 4, 5, 6. I've only heard of 6 of these manufacturers before.
Yeah, and me as a not PC guy, I've heard of
Alienware, and that's it, probably.
3.
Okay.
I've heard of 3.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. And I feel like those are the kind of people that they're trying to get after. People that are on consoles, have heard of like the goodiness of PCs. Of Steam in particular, like all the sales are the reason why I'd want to get into PC gaming. I
spent way too much money over the holiday, I'll tell you that right now.
Oh, I bet. But then I look at the people that are making them, and the Alienware one, that one's like the most expensive one, right? Is it?
It's probably one of the most expensive ones.
So
Alienware stuff is expensive.
So I wouldn't want to buy that if that's the only one that I have any familiarity with. And all these other ones, like one of them, the Zotac one looks like a router, and
it does.
And
look
then,
like a router.
And then the scan one looks like an external hard drive. So
I like the one that looks like a GameCube. Where's that one?
Is that the material one or the gigabyte one? I don't know. There are a couple
Material
ones.
one's a square. Whatever, but there's one that looked like a GameCube, and I was like, I'm all over this.
Well,
GameCube.
there. I know, just for the memories.
Oh yeah.
And then you could just put like an emulator on it.
Yeah. Which I have on my PC already. Yeah, that
Exactly.
that is a big problem with this. Like you're saying, like I'm a big PC guy. I built my computer. I don't give two shits about this. Ever. Like, I don't want this Steam OS. I don't want this Steam machine. This is not for me. So who
Right.
is this for? This is for Jeff, who doesn't have a PC?
Yeah, I was just wondering the same thing. Who is this for? Because like, if you want the simplicity of consoles, you're just going to stick with consoles. If you want PC stuff, you're just going to go out and buy, build your own PC for less than $6,000 if you want a high end something.
I know, the 6 grand, I don't understand.
Yeah.
I built my PC
Like,
for probably around $1,000. And it's probably still comparable to a lot of these machines.
yeah,
And I bought it like a year and a half ago. That's what's kind of cool about PCs. You don't need to update a lot. Like I've been running next gen games for, a year and a half basically. And it's going to stay that way for another couple of years. I won't have to upgrade at all.
yeah. And I'm with you guys on the 13 manufacturers thing.
Yeah.
It's like they're assuming there's going to be a huge demand for this, but you can just look at it and tell this is going to be a niche product.
Yeah, no store like Walmart's not going to have an aisle for this.
Yeah. And if you look at things like the 360 when it had multiple
Yeah.
SKUs,
Yeah.
like it people just want that one that they can go pick up, not have to worry about like figuring, comparing between them.
Yeah.
Because people don't even like comparing between like PlayStation and the Xbox, let alone 13 different
And
variations of the same
I thought the
console
whole
essentially.
idea of this Steam box was to be like, hey, this is PC gaming made easier. Like here's 3 models, not here's just PC gaming in a shinier box,
Yeah.
which
And
is what it is.
yeah, and I think that even if they had done 3, that would have been a little too much. If it were like a starting, or better one, and then like an elite box,
Yeah.
but having 13 is just way too much. Like there's no uniformity. Like
Well,
it.
I mean, there's a point to that though, because it is kind of cool. It'd be if Microsoft said, "Hey, make an Xbox One," all these manufacturers, then you'd have variables of tons of different manufacturers, and they wouldn't have to manufacture it, and blah 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 blah. But it is too many, but it's not a big problem in for them. Like I don't think Steam really cares or Valve cares. They're not Steam isn't a company. Uh, but I don't think Valve cares. But it's gonna affect the customer, and we brought this up on the old podcast. Um, like my parents don't know what no, don't know what Steam is. They don't know what Valve is, especially,
Mhm.
and it's like comes out of left field. This has no market penetration really. Like something like Nintendo or Sony or Microsoft can go onto the Today Show and be like, "Hey, here's our Xbox One with Connect,"
Yeah,
But this is like, here's a PC that's kind of square now and plays
you can.
games.
Yeah, and it can hook up to your TV
Yeah, it's
because
basically like I do that already with my computer. Like there's no
right.
fundamental difference.
Yeah, it because I mean that's exactly what it is. It's just a PC that hooks up to a TV,
It's a PC with
and
a cool box.
and PCs already do that. But now I'm
Yep.
just paying a whole lot more, like these other gaming PCs that I would never pay in the first
No one should
place.
have also, while we're here in this topic, no one should ever buy a gaming PC like bundled together. Build it yourself. It's
All
gonna
right.
save you hundreds of dollars.
Yeah.
Don't be dumb. The more you know.
So,
But yeah, I think that they're trying to go for the people that want the simplicity, the console gamers that are already in the living room. But when you're adding so many options, it takes away from exactly what you're trying to get at, which is that simplicity
Yeah.
of just getting like a console, and then that's it. See, like I'm looking at these and I have no idea what I would get.
So okay, how about this? If there was a Steam box and let's say it was $700 and it's better technically spec wise than the Xbox One and the PS4. It's $700 is the only SKU. Is that tempting at all?
How much better is it?
better.
And can I upgrade it?
Yes, it's a PC. You can upgrade any PC.
Then I would buy it.
Okay. Jeff?
Yeah, I'm with Henry on this one. I would be tempted to get it. Like, and of course you have to have compatibility with different controllers too. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna use that one gamepad for everything.
Yeah,
Game
Well,
Pads are
PCs
good.
have the Xbox controller. I use that for everything. So
and then the PS4 controller also works with
Yeah.
PCs now,
that's true.
Yeah.
which is awesome.
Yeah, I want to buy a PS4 controller just to use it on the PC.
It's so good. But
So it really is the
I
SKU
forgot what I
thing.
was gonna say.
It is the SKU thing that's a problem. Like all these units just turn it into the same PC market that already exists, which is too confusing and frustrating for non super nerd idiots like me.
Yeah, because I don't. It's like the RAM, like, and the gigabytes, and the just
Oh, I love
no.
I love RAM so much.
I
Just
just-
gobble it up.
With some sour cream and onion dip with it.
Yeah. Oh, don't do that. RAM's not that cheap. Come on. Every couple
you
months,
gotta
I
wine and dine that RAM.
think of buying RAM. Yeah.
But yeah, so yeah, I don't know.
It's-
I think that there's a fundamental problem here. Like,
Yeah.
like in the end, they're going for simplicity, and they're just overloading an already confusing market even more so.
I wouldn't have a problem with this if this was basically erasing the standard desktop market and turning it into this. Since it can do both, why have both? Why not have the better looking box that's more friendly to people, and you could just plug it into your TV, you could plug it into a monitor, and plug in a mouse and keyboard. Like, there's no difference.
Right.
I don't know. It is weird. And let's talk about that controller since we kind of brought it up. I'm sure that controller is good for like RTS games, but I
Right.
highly doubt it's any good for like a first-person shooter or like Assassin's Creed or something.
Oh god, Assassin's Creed would be terrible with it. Yeah, like I had a brief conversation with Charles about it, and all that he could say about it was it's not good. Like, and I can
Yeah.
see how it wouldn't be good.
Right,
Just
because it looks like one
it-
of those really weird third-party controllers from a manufacturer you've never heard of.
Looks like a joke, is what it. This controller. It's like if EGM or something 10 years ago wrote an article about controllers from the future, and they
right.
made this up. Like that's what it
And,
looks like.
yeah, but then it has like no actual value when using it.
Yeah.
But
I-
I can see how it would be cool for like, the real-time
Totally.
strategies and stuff, but most people that play those are going to use the mouse and keyboard anyway.
Yeah.
Because, in the end, there are way more buttons for hotkeys and stuff on a keyboard. And then first-person shooters, I personally cannot play it without an analog stick, because you have like I know it has sensitivity when you're like going around the edges and stuff, but
Yeah. It's different.
like let's say you're putting your finger like top left, when you let go of it, does it reset back to the middle? Does it go back and stay,
I
or
don't think
stay,
it does.
or does it stay where your finger was? You can't
It's
like
I think it's like a trackpad or whatever on a laptop.
Yeah.
see, that just doesn't work, because then you constantly have to be like scrolling around in there instead of like letting off the analog stick to
Well-
come back to center and stuff.
I don't know, man. It's all jacked up.
It's like Valve's curse of trying to make it as accessible to everyone.
If anyone can do it, it's Valve or Nintendo, and more likely Valve nowadays.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I think that the next round of things, hopefully they just consolidate everything, and at most have like 3 tiers of systems.
yeah, it seems like a lot of these companies are having like a mid-tier, a low tier, and a high tier, but with 13 different distributors and they're all going to be variables, it's too much. Like I don't even care, and I should kind of care.
Yeah,
Why-
go ahead.
I've been asking myself this the whole podcast, and I can't come up with an answer. Why 13?
It's probably
Yeah,
just the amount of people that signed on to do it. There are probably more.
Like, clearly no one at Valve is superstitious anyway, but why 13?
Ooh, I didn't even think of that.
Yeah.
Spooky.
Uh,
Ooh.
I bet that if they had done 3, there would be so many people being like, "Oh, Half-Life 3 confirmed."
Yeah.
It's
Well,
like, shut the fuck up.
like, look at it. 13 is like 3 with an extra 1.
Oh
Half-Life 3
man.
confirmed. Clearly, that meme is so dumb. I
Yeah,
think that's all we got to say about it. It's really, I don't know. It's like so close to being awesome, but it's
just
like
it's too overwhelming.
it's too much. We'll see. I mean, this is still really early.
For all we know, maybe they'll just like weed out the ones that aren't selling, and then they'll consolidate that way.
Well, yeah. I mean, naturally, there's going to be the units that are popular that
Yeah,
are going to gravitate to the front of the page per se.
yeah, yeah.
It's an interesting time, and it's this year. Like some of them are coming out like now, basically,
Right.
like end of the month, which makes sense. I mean, it's just a freaking computer. It's not like
Yeah, and it's not like they're mass producing
yeah.
these next gen consoles for like a big initial release and stuff. They're just sending them out there.
Yeah, it's probably mostly online at first and through their websites.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see in the coming months. We'll probably revisit this in the future because it's gonna be interesting if they can pull all this shit off
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah, it is. I mean, still super early. They only just now announced them. Like they're not even out yet. So
True.
we'll
We'll have
it's
to come back in a month.
yeah, it's a
Make fun of
developing
them again.
story.
All right, so how do I end a YouTube video, Henry? How do I do this?
I don't know.
So okay, so you can leave comments below the video. I'm pointing below, by the way, because I'm mentally insane. Comment below. You can also email us if you want to be like super sneaky and anonymous on the down low. Podcast at thegamefanatics.com. Henry's on Twitter.
The whole way.
Jeff's on Twitter.
At TGF_JSmith.
I'm on Twitter at TGF_KirbyLink. We'll see you next time.
Yeah.
That was all right.
Yeah.
That was all right.
I think also for the ending, you should add that like comments and stuff could be used for future episodes.
Yeah, I haven't have my outro written.
Yeah. Like and subscribe.
And I need to say, yeah.
Like and subscribe.
God damn it. Let me write some of this down.